thank you so much for joining me on my channel today. And today I have a design team project for you guys. And I am working on the Color Rush Studio Echoes of Home collection. This is their March collection, and it has the most beautiful pieces and papers from Simple Stories. There's also a bold kit and all of that jazz. If you missed my YouTube short that has the unboxing, I will link that below. But today I'm doing my first project, and I am actually going to be scrapping some photos of Muffins with Mom, which is the Mother's Day event that they do at my daughter's school. And this was last year. And so I did not scrap these, and I said this is the perfect time for me to scrap it because, I mean, the colors and everything, I mean, as soon as I saw this kit, this was one of the photos that came to mind that I knew I hadn't scrapped to add to my daughter's album. So I'm going to be using that. I cut down this big, let me show you how that usually looks. Ooh, this big 12 by 12 paper, this is this corner right here. I cut down, this is the back side, to the 6 by 8 outside the page protector size, which is the size of the album for my daughter. And so I did not throw away the extra pieces, which is what I'm going to use to do my journaling and other things like that. I also have some of the floral bits, which is part of the ephemera for the main kit collection. I also have some bits and pieces that I want to use, and as well as the frazzles and ribbon. So I have all of this kind of put to the side so I can start working on the main point. Something else that I love that she added to this collection was doilies, and I love the craft color of this doily, and I thought this was beautiful, and I'm going to use this in the background here to also add to the background. So all of those things are happening. I'm going to go ahead and put you on fast forward, and let's put this page together. Okay, darling, so these two photos actually started off as a 4 by 6, and I did kind of a collage, so both photos can be on there. But after I saw how much excess there was that really wasn't important for the photo, I thought it'd be perfect to cut these down. That way it can create a little bit more room, and also I can matte them. So I'm going to go ahead and use this pretty coral plaid to matte this on. I love that it has some brown tones as well because it kind of brings in the color from the doily. And here I had a big goop come out of my glue, so I kind of used up some of that glue on the other photo. So here I am going to layer it up, and I knew that I wanted a little bit of a torn edge on some of the edges. So not all, some will be straight, some will be torn. So I'm going to use my ruler here and kind of just tear some of that edge there. And so one came out kind of crooked, which I love because it has that imperfect. And the other tear was kind of straight. And so you'll see me, I'll go back and actually add a little bit more tear to that one that's a little straight. I like the imperfectness of a torn edge. So that's kind of what I was going for there. So here, I'm just going to go ahead and tear up a little bit more of the edge. Then I'll bring it back on screen. Okay, perfect. So here I'm thinking, okay, where am I going to put my journaling and where am I going to put my title? So at first I was thinking the bottom left for the doily. And then I was like, oh no, I'd love to do it over to the right. And then it'll kind of frame the favorite things card, which is going to be my journaling card. But then as I was looking for a label to add my title on, I realized that it may blend in a lot with my background. So I love these labels, by the way. I think this kit comes with almost everything you need. So then I thought, no, let me add the doily to the bottom. And then I will have to find another way to kind of do the rest of it. So here I'm adding that doily to the bottom left, and I'm happy with where I had it. And then I'm going to add some glue to some of the corners of this lace. And then I realized that I actually have two doilies stuck down. So glad I figured that out. I don't want to waste a doily. And I carefully add a little bit more glue dots. And then now I'm rearranging again how I'm going to layer this out. And you know, I kind of shuffle it around until I find the perfect set. And I really like it with the picture on the bottom covering that the brown center part of the doily, because then it kind of looks like the doily is kind of a second matte to that photo. So I love how this one actually turned out, this kind of design. So I needed this to pop out a little more, so I just grabbed a brown marker. It's actually my daughter's marker that I already had on my desk, and I kind of edged that up a little bit, and it helped it pop off so it's not blending into the teal background. Then I'm going to glue that down, because if I like something, I go ahead and adhere it down, because if not, I'm an overthinker and I will spend an hour doing one layout just because I can't make a decision. And instead of getting decision fatigue, I rather just glue it down. Okay, I like it, glue it down quick before I change my mind. Here I'm using pop dots for my photo that's gonna go up here, which is more of a close-up of me and my daughter at Muffins for Moms. And now I'm going to go through the ephemera and find some florals that I can create a couple clusters on my page. Okay, because I couldn't make up my mind picking out ephemera for this page, I actually just moved to the journaling, and I'm using the My Favorite Things card. This is part of the 12 by 12 paper as well. It's the back of this teal paper actually, and I love that this creates a perfect spot to add journaling, and I love lists as journaling, so this is perfect. So these are pictures from my Muffins for Mom. So for the first one, I write that my favorite thing is to create memories with my daughter. The second one is to support her in all her school activities. And the third one, to see her smile. And then I add even when it's toothless, because actually in these pictures, my daughter is missing her 2 front teeth. So this was actually 2 years ago, not 1 year ago. Okay, so now I'm working on my cluster. So again, this time I'm like, okay, let me start making some decisions. Let me start adding some things down, adding some stuff to pop dots, layering pieces, and I'm also trying to think that I'm creating clusters, but I also wanted to add some of the acrylic pieces from the bits and bobs. So I grabbed some of those, and these daisies are perfect for this page. And that's why I use that daisy over on the right hand side just to tie that in. So I'm kind of just picking colors that will kind of spread some of the color around. And so on the purple flower, I add a white daisy, and then on the white daisy, I'm going to add a purple, the white daisy, I'm going to add a smaller purple daisy. I'm covering and then my glossy accents, and then I'll add so I can add these glossy accents. Well. Actually works well just with on those two clusters. I do need to get me flower cluster is just going to be ephemera. I know now, that what I'm using here, and I'm off camera for a little bit pieces, but if you have some glossy accents, that works great too. Okay, so here I'm adding those little pieces, and I really love the texture that this adds to the cluster, and it makes it not so flat. Now moving on to my title, I pull this banner that I wanted to use for my title, and then I grab an alpha that I already had in my stash, and I still had on it 2 M's and an O. So I was like, oh, perfect to add mom to the picture. And then I thought about using my pen that I use for journaling to write Muffins for on the banner, and that would complete my title. But again, looking at this, it just seemed like it was too crowded, like it would be too much. So instead, what I do is I actually add a note to number 2 in my favorite things, that this was Muffin for Moms under the school activities. And then I just leave my title as mom. And I think that actually turns out great. I do think about maybe adding one more acrylic piece, but then I decide against it for that cluster there. And that wraps up my page. If you are new here, I hope you consider subscribing. Hit the like button and notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. I will link below in the description box the link for you to pick up this Color Rush Studio March Kit Echoes of Home. It is so good, guys. You definitely want to pick this up. Also, my code so you guys can save a little money. And again, thank you so much for joining me. God bless. Bye.